Welcome back. We are going back to Mike Eppel. Of course, the big story today, gas prices.
Yeah, indeed, Melanie. We've seen the jump at the pump, 6 cents, as had been predicted, to almost $1.22 to fill the tank this morning. Highest level we've seen it back. I just checked the chart on this. The last time we were paying close to $1.22 was back in July of 2015. And then you have to go back further than that to the late fall of 2014. We've actually been seeing, for the most part for the past couple of years, fairly low gasoline prices. Remember when they were down to below 90 cents per liter a couple of times then with the oversupplied market? Of course, since then, we've had the implementation of carbon taxes, which ended up adding about 4 cents per liter to start. And then you've got the seasonal issues right now, which is the main reason why the price for gas is as high as it is. Refineries aren't exactly working at full capacity right now. They go through a seasonal transition and do maintenance this time of year, so there's less supply of gasoline in the pipeline system. Price for oil itself, it's only at a 1.5-month high. It's at 53 and change per barrel. So the root cause of this comes back to the refineries, not so much the international markets for oil itself. So again, the last time the price was this high, over the successive months, we actually did see the price drop quite a bit. So maybe the trend will hold this summer, and we'll get a break at the pumps again as we get into the summertime months. Canadian dollar's been lifted a little bit recently to 75.08, helped out by the price for oil being a little bit higher than where it was. Now, the Canadian dollar will be in the spotlight today because the Bank of Canada sets interest rate policy, and the central bank is not expected to change rates at all this year, actually. Bank of Canada has been really hesitant to actually sound the least bit optimistic about the economy, even though some of the signals recently have been not too bad. Big question is, what about the housing market? Bank of Canada has sort of fueled this housing bubble that some are calling it because of record low interest rates. We've taken on a lot of consumer debt, so they have to be cognizant of that. They don't want to raise rates quickly because then you'd have a backlash by consumers who might not be able to afford to pay the debts, and then you'd have a spiral on the economy downward, kind of resetting things again. Moody's Investor Service out with a red flag in the Canadian housing market, saying, you know what, prices can't go up as quickly as they have over the past year, specifically in the Toronto market. Can't have 30% plus price gains year over year. They're saying there's a bubble risk here, and some red flags. They're saying consumer debt is a big problem for the Canadian consumers right now. They're comparing it a little bit back to the housing bubble and correction in the United States. Keep in mind, when the U.S. collapsed in 08-09, what was really going on there? Well, you had a lot of speculative loans being given out to people who were buying 5 and 6 houses that were being built where nobody really wanted to live. We don't exactly have an overbuilt situation in this Canadian market of ours right now, so that is one positive. There's actually not enough supply and too much demand, keeping prices elevated. A little bit of less elevation, we'll call it, for shares of United Airlines yesterday, down 1%, which really, considering the social media firestorm kicked off by that passenger being forcibly removed from a United Airlines jet in Chicago, you'd think, goodness, the stock would just absolutely go in free fall. It was down 4% early and then recuperated because, again, the talk is that United's overall brand might be damaged, but you're still going to see just as many people on its planes because there is a lack of choice right now, specifically on international routes and in that U.S. market. Having said that, Melanie, we've got U.S. lawmakers wanting answers, and you have to figure that this is going to continue. They're going to probably change some rules about the rules regarding overbooking, as we are doing here in Canada as well.